Hello guys and welcome to a new video on this channel. Now this video might come as a big surprise to you, and trust me, it also was a big surprise for me. Today we're gonna actually unbox something. Yes, we already did this with the Ice Clack, a very old video of mine, but today we're gonna unbox something that's even more interesting and exciting technology-wise, and that is the iPhone 11 from Apple. Yes, I actually got it. It was a big surprise, very spontaneous, but I got it and I'm really happy. Now I will use this iPhone for around a week and then I'll give you a review with my first brief thoughts about this iPhone, because I just want to use it for some time before I'm giving you a review of some kind. Now of course this iPhone has been out for some time, but you know, when you're not sponsored by big companies, you can't just go around and buy these phones, you know. They're quite expensive. I mean, I got this for a good deal. I got this for 594 euros, which is a really good deal, because originally here it cost 800 almost euros. But anyway, today we will only take a first look at the device and unbox it. So let's go. So we have the iPhone 11 now in front of us. Of course, this is the black or the space gray version. I don't know, I always think about, should I get a different color this time? But I always go back to space gray or black. I don't know why. I'm always back in black when it comes to phones. Yeah, this is the 46 or the 64 gigabyte version, of course, of this phone. So the entry iPhone 11, and normally would cost here in Austria around 800 bucks, so 799 euros, and I got this for 559 euros. So I got a pretty decent deal, a really good deal actually. I mean, you have to appreciate this. It's the simple things. With this foil that Apple has put around its phone, you take this part, you rip it off, or you slowly pull it off, and it perfectly lifts. It's like the unboxing experience is always unrivaled with Apple. So we have the iPhone 11 in front of us. It's actually engraved, even like you can even feel like the camera bump on the package. That's very nice. It doesn't say, by the way, iPhone 11 anymore, so it just says iPhone. You have, of course, the black Apple logos resembling the color you got. I'm not going to show you the back. It's a 64 gigabyte version, you will see later. Just don't want to show you the whole information, the EMEI, or the EMEI information of the phone. I hope you understand. So without further ado, let's open it up. Slowly lifts. Let's not drop it out of the box. And there we are. Oh, interesting. It's upside down. I didn't know. So let's take a look at the backside first. I mean, this is probably the most pristine condition that this backside will be in, because after I touch it only once, it already have all the fingerprints on it, because it's like a very glossy surface. And here actually it's not. It's more of an aluminum finish. It's more like this mute black, more space gray color. It's interesting because you can distinguish the iPhone 11 from the 11 Pro already from the color. I know, of course you can, because it has like this camera bump and it looks a bit different from the iPhone 10, of course. But you can, because the iPhone 11 Pro has this muted kind of space gray color on the majority of the backside, and only the glossy surface on this camera cutout. And with the iPhone 11 it's actually the other way around. So if you look at it, it looks really nice. At first, I don't know, at first I was a bit, I didn't fully like this like mute color cutout, so that the color doesn't match the outside here. I liked it more on the iPhone 11 Pro, but now that I'm looking at it, I actually like it a lot. Am I the only one, but did the camera lenses get bigger? Oh my god, I mean, they're really huge. But anyway, I mean, those are great cameras in there, and I can't wait to test them, because already I have an iPhone 10 till now, and I always thought, I mean, can the camera get even better? And actually, as it seems, this phone has actually very improved camera over the 10. So let's lift it out carefully. Again, the unboxing experience with Apple is always unrivaled. And we're just gonna, we're gonna be like all the YouTubers. You gotta look at the box first. Okay, designed by Apple in California. Also, and I like that touch here with the notch, the camera cutout of the front camera. So let's lift it out. What do we have here? Designed by Apple in California, of course. And yeah, of course, Apple Inc. 2019, when this phone was released. And bonjour! We get, of course, our instructions, our little instructions on how to use the device. Of course, in all the languages, not only in French. And of course, the Apple sticker. Sadly, not in the color of the phone. Apple tends to do this like on their Macs, but not here, as it seems. So yeah, we got our Apple stickers. And we also have standard procedure, not the fast charging brick. The iPhone 11 Pro has this doesn't, but the iPhone 11 supports fast charging, but it just doesn't have the brick in the box. Well, yeah, I mean, it's cheaper than the iPhone 11 Pro, so that's surely also where they got the price down a bit. We have the standard earpods, the lightning earpods, so not the normal earpods, because also since the iPhone 7, of course, no headphone jack. And of course, the lightning cable, no USB-C, because I don't know, Apple really doesn't want to put, they want to put USB-C everywhere, but not on the phone. I don't know, I really, it's interesting, but anyway, it's Apple after all. Okay, so let's have a look at the iPhone 11. So we're gonna peel this foil off now. Did you hear this? Very nice sound. It's always nice to do this. And there we go. So the iPhone 11, I can only say it, of course, in comparison to the iPhone 10, it looks similar now. Well, the borders around the display, since this is still an LCD display, are a bit thicker, and as a result of those bigger borders also, the iPhone 11 is a bit taller than the iPhone 11 Pro, for example. But it actually feels like a really big phone in my hand, so it's actually quite a bit taller than the iPhone 10 or the iPhone 11 Pro. And it's also a bit thicker. Now you will notice this. It's noticeably thicker. Now, of course, I mean, like honestly, you're holding the phone in the hand, and I have to say, it's heavier and it's bigger, and it feels actually, it's interesting that I say this, and I don't think Apple intended it that way. It feels more quality. It feels like, you know, it has some heft to it, and it feels more high quality, even if it only has the aluminum frame around it. But I don't know, it feels more like high quality to me, because it has more heft to it. It feels like a bigger device, you know, and it really feels like a big phone. So what is new from the iPhone 11 to the iPhone XR actually, which this is kind of the successor to? Well, you have now a 12 megapixel front camera, so very nice front camera recording, even 4K 60 frames recording. Now in a front camera, I mean, can you imagine this? I imagine the days when Apple still had like a 1080p or actually only HD camera in the front, and everyone was like, oh, it only has an HD camera. Now we have 4K 60 in a front camera. It's crazy. And in the back we have actually the same cameras than the iPhone 11 Pro. Now one might say, well, why should I buy the iPhone 11 Pro now? Well, there's one camera missing. So you get the 12 megapixel front shooter, which can do 4K 60 frames, has smart HDR and everything, and it should be a big improvement even over the iPhone 10. I'm really interested into that, because I think even the iPhone 10 had an outstanding camera for a smartphone. And you also get night mode with this phone, and I'm also really interested into night mode, seeing how it performs in low light, because that's like kind of the creme de la creme when it comes to smartphone cameras, because in daylight they all are so amazing nowadays, but on low light you can still see who is king. I'm really interested to see how this iPhone performs in comparison to the iPhone 10, for example. And we also get a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera now. So this is a very new thing that even the 10s didn't have. The only thing we're missing is the telephoto camera. This is what kind of sets it apart in the camera department from the iPhone 11 Pro. We don't have the telephoto camera with the 2x optical zoom on here, but I don't use it that much, so I think I won't miss it that much. What we also get with the iPhone in terms of camera and video recording, because I think iPhones are almost the best and unbeaten when it comes to video recording in the smartphone world, we get stereo audio video recording. So we have stereo audio also now in our videos included. And also the difference is we don't have the iPhone text anymore down here. We only got, like, I like this, it's very mute. You almost can't see like the information, like don't throw it away, and you know, the regulation stuff. Apple really tried to hide it. You almost can't see it. I think you can you even see it? I mean, if I go very near the phone, can you see it? I think you can. It's very mute. You almost can't see it. So if you don't look closely, it disappears and it looks like a perfectly designed phone without any text. Well, of course, the camera bump is up to discussion. Some people still don't like it. I actually, at first I was like, but you get used to it. It looks actually nice in my opinion. And what I also like is Apple has centered the Apple logo now, so it's really in the middle perfectly. All right, so we've talked enough, I think, about the outside of the phone. Let's see what's inside. Gonna power the phone on, and there we go. An Apple logo greets us. Normally, of course, the Apple logo is also now perfectly in the middle. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. So now, of course, the Apple logo is also perfectly in the middle, because of course, Apple really likes these details. And there we are. Hello, the iPhone is up and running. All right, so we're greeted by this display. This is also difference between the iPhone 11 Pro and the iPhone 11. Now, I came from an OLED. Now, most of you will probably say, David, you had an OLED display and now you're switching back to LCD? Are you crazy? Well, look, at first I also thought, iPhone 11, you know, OLED. I kind of like OLED. OLED's really nice. Should I not? And then at the store, I took a look at the display and I actually compared the colors to my iPhone 10. And I know the tech enthusiasts out there will scream at me, oh, you're stupid, you have no idea. No, the iPhone 11 display is so much worse. Look, yes, fact is, resolution-wise, this has 326 pixels per inch. You have a very nice Retina display. You can't see any pixel. You really can't. It's at a normal distance when you're using this phone, like for example, I'm looking straight at the phone right now, I can't see any pixel. It looks like a perfectly shot display. Anyway, however, the iPhone 11 Pro has, I think, a pixel count of 468 pixels per inch, so it's of course sharper. And the other thing is you have LCD here, and on the iPhone 11 Pro you have OLED. Now I thought there would be a big difference, and again, people will shout at me like the tech enthusiasts, no, OLED is so much better. I looked at it, I even looked at the blacks. Now yes, the blacks look like a bit better on the iPhone 11 Pro or on my iPhone 10. But honestly, this, I mean, what Apple was able to put into an LCD color-wise is amazing. You mean you can see, yes, it has bigger borders around the edge, but I think you can get used to it. That's not a big problem for me. And I think after like 1 or 2 days, you can't even see the difference anymore. But color-wise, honestly, this is so close to an OLED, it's almost unreal. So if you're maybe in the same situation like me and you want to switch from like an iPhone 10 with an OLED to the iPhone 11 and you're kind of worrying about display, will I notice it a lot? In my opinion, no, you won't. Alright, so I'm gonna set up the phone now and then we'll continue. Alright, I always wanted to try this one feature, this quick start feature, where Apple says if you take your old iPhone and you put it next to the new iPhone, then the data from the old iPhone will just be transferred over to the new one, like automatically. You don't have to do anything. It sounds like a very Apple thing to do. It sounds almost magical and it would be very nice. So I want to try this out. So I have my iPhone 10 here and you can see, I mean, I'm not joking about this. If I take the phone, I put it next to this phone, there is a new phone. You want to transfer the data over? I just click on it, unlock it with Face ID, and I click on continue. I mean, look, and then you get this kind of like this sphere on your new phone. It's kind of like the Apple Watch when you kind of sync the Apple Watch to your phone. And then you just take your camera, you hover over this thing. There you go. And then it just syncs. I mean, isn't that crazy? And that's it. And it already even saw that I have dark mode on my old phone and already switched to dark mode. I mean, isn't that a nice feature? I mean, that's Apple. That's really Apple. And also what you have to do now is you have to, just as another security precaution, you also have to log in with the code that you have on your old phone. But I mean, isn't that a nice feature? All right, the iPhones are done. As you can see, it's just doing the final steps. It just finished. And I'm just gonna show you what you have to do. So it says, yes, transfer complete. You click on yes. Then you can use your old phone as before. And I can already see it from here. The iPhone 11 looks completely now like my old phone. And if we look now at my iPhone 11, there we go. It already took my wallpaper that I have. And if I go in, yes, it's installing all the apps that I use in exactly the right fashion. It says, do you want to do this? It asks me some questions, but as you can see, it's already downloading all the apps that I have in exactly the right order. and you just have to wait. Now I'll put in my SIM card and then I can use my phone. It's that simple. It's exactly those things that I love about Apple so much, the software integration. I mean, this is probably the easiest migration process of data that I ever used. And that's just a very nice feature to have. Alright guys, that was the unboxing and brief first look at the iPhone 11. I'm really happy to have this phone. I'm really excited to use this phone and I can't wait to do a review 1 week later for you guys. So that's me, David, signing off. Have a good one.